Well, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, I'm Pete. Now, for today's video, will be a little bit different. So I've decided that since I have my plant wish list here, and it's well over, I think there are maybe 40 something odd. I could be, let's see, 5, 4 is 20, another 5 is 20. It's 10, 24, 48. So it's like maybe 45, 48, I don't know, weeks in a year. And that means that there are that as many Wednesdays in that year. So for what I'm going to do for this year-long series of mine, I'm going to basically I'm going to pick out of my list, each Wednesday. I'm just going to call it Wish List Wednesdays. And I'm going to just go over one plant that, I wouldn't mind having in my collection. And of course, I'm going to try my best to knock this list out. Now, for me, I would say that would be impossible for this year. But for most people, and for some people, they already have most all of these. So, to them, this list is like almost nothing. But that is okay because my collection is okay and I will be getting up there as well. But yeah, so I'm just gonna call this series Wish List Wednesdays. And of course, every Wednesday I will have at least one plant up and we'll try to go over it. And we will go from there. And also, guys, if I'm not mistaken, honestly, they are way over. I think I said that or not. Anyway, they're way over 40 something, 50 something, 60 something plants. So even if I did one per week, I will still have some extra. So let's just hope that all my fingers crossed, that I can cross out most of these this year and find some more that I would love to have. And also keep in mind, guys, that with these plants, they're not wanted in my collection only because of popularity. I'm not that kind of plant guy, plant person, enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever you want to call it, to just go and get plants just because Susie May and Anthony Blue and Bobby Jane has got the plant. But now if I've seen the plant maybe 1,001 times and I've done my research, and usually if it's a philodendron, then it's good 98% chance that I'm able to take care of it. But yeah, if I'm getting a plant or wanting a plant, it's usually because of it attracts to me in some sort of way. And with these videos, you will most definitely figure out which way that is. And with the different plants, it also varies. Just because, you don't have a house full of, some people do, there's nothing wrong with it, but you don't see most people like with a house full of just one kind of peace lily or one kind of pothos. So, and it's usually, again, it varies to reasons as in to why they want these different types of plants. But let's go ahead and jump straight into this, guys. So what we have here, the first plant that I have on my list that I'm going to go ahead and cross out just because of pricing, and this one here is, I would say, probably top 10 on my wish list. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys. First on the list for our wish list Wednesday plant, I have the infamous Monstera Thai Constellation. Now, this plant here, as you can see by the pictures that I'm posting, like, this plant here is literally to die for. I honestly would want this plant over the Albo Monstera just because of the constellation or the white spots in it. And also with this constellation, if you don't know, guys, that this constellation is a tissue culture from Thailand, and the variegation in it is very stable. Now, I love this plant over the Albo Monstera only because of If you notice with the album Monstera that the white leaves or the white patches that comes out, if your light conditions are not perfect, just I mean almost perfect or close to perfect, then your leaves or the white part would typically brown off or die back. And even in some cases, if your light conditions are just right, the plant will eventually figure out or eventually don't need that portion of the plant or leaf anymore, and it decides to kill itself back. But this Thai constellation, I think it's a pretty slow grower from what I've been reading and from different posts and different research sites, that it's a slow grower, but once it decides to catch on, guys, we are talking about maybe a leaf and a half per month, which is pretty good. And I'm guessing that's if the conditions of this plant is right. But even if not that, just having this plant in your collection, I'm pretty sure will bring you joy. Now, I know you don't want this plant in your collection and it doesn't grow, but within time, most plants, even when they're just stalling or just hit a standstill, eventually, eventually it'll start to catch up. But again, from the readings that I've done, you will treat this constellation. I mean, it says bright and direct light for best growth, and that's usually, I would say, for most plants, depending on the variety of the plant. Again, now this plant, it grows a lot slower, and compared to the Monstera Deliciosa, it grows a lot slower, but the Deliciosa also grows a lot bigger. I think that the constellation reaches up to maybe 9, 10 feet. Maybe I'll double check. If not, if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But between 8 to 10 feet, I'm guessing. With the leaves even bigger, maybe a foot, foot and a half or so. But that Deliciosa, when I did my research on them, guys, that thing can grow up to 60 feet or more. I'm pretty sure the more part is in the wild just because the conditions are perfect. So that's another reason why I didn't too much care for the elbow, even though the constellation is the same, but the constellation grows a lot slower. What I'm saying is like the grow pattern, it grows wild, and I don't like that grow pattern for the that elbow, even though it is a pretty plant. Now, mind you, if I was getting an elbow for a gift or cutting rooted plant or whatever you want, a potted plant, I would take it, with open arms. But me going out personally and buying this thing, even from a cutting, I personally wouldn't do it, but I would accept it if it, was a gift. But just going out and personally buying it, just not going to happen. And even now, the prices are just outrageous. And me personally, if I'm going to buy a plant like that with a price tag on it, then I must have at least a good 90 to 95% of all of my wish list plants, because the price tag of these things, guys, are, I think, now up to maybe the mid to high 200, 300 range. And with that kind of money, I know for a fact I can get at least a nice little size plant from most of my wish list plants. We're talking about maybe four, maybe four and some cuttings or something. But it baffles me, and I can't see myself doing it when I know for a fact, as I said, I can get way more plants compared to buying this one, and then I'm stuck with this one for a little while. But not stuck, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I would most definitely love to have this beauty in my collection. I don't necessarily have a well, I do have a Monstera, but not like the Deliciosa or the Constellation. Most people that I do know, they do have, I don't want to say no, but seen, but like YouTube or Instagram or any social handle, they have their elbows and constellations just growing, just pretty. And most of these people have gotten theirs before, the pandemic has spiked prices, triple, double, quadruple. So they did look on those. And then you have the people that have also got the wet sticks, who've grown them from wet sticks, and now they're propagating and planting them in bigger pots and watching them grow up, poles and things. But these plants are just spectacular, especially some of the YouTubers. I think her name is Kaylee Allen. Yep, Kaylee Allen. There it is. She has the most wonderfulest, if that's a word, um, constellation that I've seen. It's huge. I do know that she said she's planted maybe four or more in her pot, but they are huge and wonderful, guys. If you haven't seen her video, go and check that out, because I mean that is just wonderful. But yeah, back to this Thai constellation. I just have to have this plant, guys. I have been searching and searching for it. I mean, she's not hard to find, but she's hard to find for a decent price. And I refuse to even pay $300 for a node. You're like, this is not for me. It's not happening. But eventually, I'm telling you guys, the prices will go down. And also, most of you guys have heard, and if not, Costa or Coastal Farm, however you want to pronounce it, they are, if I'm not mistaken, coming out with the collection of, whoa, I think it's the Albo, or maybe it's the Thai Constellation. And I'm saying that because of maybe I want a Thai Constellation so bad right now that I'm getting them mixed up. But either or, but I'm pretty sure, I bet it's the Albo, but I don't know. But they're supposed to be coming out either this year, but I'm pretty sure it's like next year or the year after, just because of the grow rate on them. And I'm telling you guys, if and when they pop up, I will be in my car all over the South looking for this plant, because I refuse to pay $8,955,000,000 and 95 cents plus $100 shipping. This is not going to happen, but I would prefer Costa Costa. I wouldn't even care if they sold these plants for $50 inside of their little fancy pots. I will still buy it. $80 is a full plant. I will still purchase that thing. But I think that will be it, guys. That will keep you guys again updates on if I'm able to retrieve these plants, hopefully by trades and even better by gifts. So as time goes on, and even when I do my house plant tours, and even if I do a pop-up, it'll probably be on like one of my social handles, which I would say it doesn't matter because all of them are linked. So when I go and post on one, it shoots it off to the rest. But um, I would definitely keep up with this list. Well, guys, we are going to try, like I said, and knock this entire list of mine completely out this year. And if not, we're going to try our best to. And then guess what? We're going to try the next year and then the next year. And then I'm pretty sure eventually I will have at least 80 to 90% of this list wiped out. And hopefully, I can add some more on here, because there are new kinds and varieties that do pop up, and there are a lot that has not been spoken on. And most of us enthusiasts, we don't really know of a plant until someone brings it up or shows a picture, and it's usually up to that person if they like it and go out and buy it and blah blah blah. But that is it, guys. I think, yep, that is it, guys. I would like to thank you for coming back and supporting my channel. Please do me a favor and hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the greatness of this channel, as I would say. Also, hit that notification bell to keep you notified on all the great projects that we're doing over here. And also, the notification bell now will send you straight back to our Wishlist Wednesdays as well. Again, that is it, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.